As soon as it was released, Sonic Dream Team looked like it was something special. And, I mean, the game definitely is. It's almost unlike anything I've ever played when it comes to Sonic. It just feels so unique. It feels so different than almost anything I've ever played in this franchise. But does Sonic Dream Team deliver? Is it truly one of the greatest Sonic games of all time, even though it's confined to the Apple Arcade and an iPhone? Or is this game kind of dog? Well, that's what you find out in today's video. Because if there's one thing Sonic Dream Team is, it's a fever dream. The one thing I will 100% say that Dream Team excelled at was the animation. Starting with the opening animation, my reaction to that was essentially me screaming at how amazing it was. Because it is. That opening animation was absolutely pure eye candy. It was amazing. I loved it with all of my heart. But then there's also the animations during the cutscenes. Now, no, not all of the cutscenes are animated. Most cutscenes, in fact, are simply things appearing on the screen and disappearing, and that's it. But there are some cutscenes that are animated unlike anything we've seen in the last almost 10 years. The last time we saw a Sonic game with such fluid animation was Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. And that's the only good thing about Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. This animation made me feel so happy. Sonic is so expressive. All of his friends are expressive. It's amazing. The animation is absolutely wonderful. Then we have the music of Sonic Superstars. And honestly, unfortunately, the best bit of Sonic Superstars is also the one used in the opening animation. And that's because it was written by T. Lopes. Not to say that the OST is bad, it's just okay. It's nothing that blew me away. Now, nothing that I said, oh my god, this is like a new lights, camera, action, or a new Speed Jungle, or a new Titan theme. Nothing like that. But there were some pretty okay tracks. Nothing insane, but still pretty good. But you're not here for the music, you're not here for the animation. Well, actually, I think a lot of us are here for the animation. You're here for the gameplay of Sonic Dream Team, because that's what we care about, the gameplay. And I have never been more happy to say this. There is no, drawback to the gameplay whatsoever. It is consistently fun. I can't believe I'm saying this about a Sonic game. What universe are we living in? There's no drawback whatsoever. There's no lows in this gameplay. It's just plain fun. No matter what character type you're playing as, the game is fun. Crazy, right? I mean, there has never been a Sonic game where there's no drawback to it. Adventure has the Big and Amy. Adventure 2 has the Meg stages and the treasure hunting. That sucks. Sonic Unleashed has the Werehog. Sonic Frontiers is janky sometimes, and the last two islands are disappointing, and there's nothing there. And before Update 3, the final boss was bad, and also the towers suck in Update 3. The best of the best Sonic games, the ones that people love, have drawbacks, except for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But that's peak. Even Mania. Mania has reused stages. That's a drawback. This game has no drawback when it comes to gameplay. It is absolutely mental that I'm saying this about a Sonic game. It's just fun. No matter what character type you're playing, it's fun. Let's start with the speed characters, and we have Amy and Sonic. The speed characters, the only thing that the speed characters have that the flight and gliding and climbing characters don't have is the light speed dash, and also an air dash. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same. I have a lot of fun playing as both characters. They're really cool, and they feel different to play as. Amy and Sonic feel different because Amy's just not a reskin of Sonic. She has her own animations. She runs completely differently. She runs with her hammer sometimes. Her board fidgets are completely different. And another thing that I'm gonna add, the board fidgets. Each character has at least 2, with Sonic and Tails having a whopping 3 board fidgets. That's insane. And then we have our two flight characters. We have Miles Prower returning from Sonic Frontiers, and for the first time since Sonic Generations, Cream the Rabbit returns. And I am so happy she's back. But at the same time, I do not like her voice. She's not the worst voice in this game. Oh, we'll get to that very, very soon. But I don't like her voice. It's just too high and too annoying, I guess is the word for it.
Is there anything you can do?
I'm getting used to it, but I still think that her voice in Sonic X is where Cream really peaked. They should be trying to make that same voice instead of going for a brand new direction, because this voice direction kind of sucks. But gameplay-wise, the flight characters are essentially the speed characters minus the mid-air boost and the light speed dash. Instead of that, they can fly, which is cool because they can access areas that some climbing characters can get to, and they can also access areas that some speed characters can't get to. It's pretty cool. It's a nice trade-off. It's a callback to the classic Sonic games because that's also how that worked in those games. And finally, we have our gliding and climbing characters, Rouge the Bad and Knuckles the Echidna. Let's start with Knuckles. I love Knuckles. I've always have, and he controls great in this game. Gliding and climbing is wonderful. Gliding is good, unlike Frontiers. They fixed that, thank God. He's just a great character to play as. Nothing much I can say about him. His voice is the same in Frontiers. I don't mind that. Rouge the Bad. She controls identical to Knuckles, so I have no complaints when it comes to gameplay, but my god, what the ever-loving hell is this voice?
You've managed to tick me off. That's the last mistake you'll ever make.
This is the worst Rouge voice we have ever gotten. Like, the only time her voice has sounded good, in my eyes, was like, I don't know, Sonic 06 maybe? That's it? That's it. That's the only game, actually, that her voice sounded good. And this voice direction is awful. They really went and gave Rouge a higher voice than Amy.
My pleasure, Sonic. Just don't forget my reward for helping. Can you find a way to get them out of this thing, Tails?
What? So with Dream Team's launch, you have 4 levels to play through. Each of those 4 levels has 4 acts and a boss fight. And my god, these level environments are so goddamn cool. There's the first one, which I remember is called Scrambled Shores, which is like this beach, but mixed with like a bouncy castle type environment, which is exactly what I want from Sonic. I want these imaginative, never before seen environments, and my god, we got that. This environment is extremely cool. I absolutely love it. The music is nice. It fits the level. Great zone. The boss fight is fun. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too anything. Just a great boss overall. Definitely better than any of the Superstars bosses. Next comes Dream Factory, a zone that apparently pumps this orange amber sap thing called imagination, which powers dreams. And if that wasn't cool enough, you can see throughout the stage it clashing with the purple version, which is the evil version that Eggman and his army is creating. That's really cool. This whole factory is really cool. Another wonderful, absolutely, in fact, amazing zone. And the boss fight, same as the first one. Nothing too crazy, nothing too anything. It's just okay. Nightmare Maze is next. And I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite zones in this game. The music is the best of any zones. It is like dark, scary, terrifying. It's uprooted in like these purple tendrils everywhere. The sky is purple. There are eyes everywhere. This is like a really scary zone, and it's a really cool idea. The gravity switches every now and again. This is a really cool zone. Really cool idea. And the boss is my second favorite in the game, the Guardian Hunter. It looks terrifying. It makes these absolutely disgusting squelching and clicking noises that I absolutely despise, but I mean, it fits the boss perfectly well. It is a great zone. I love Nightmare Maze. And finally, we have Ego City, which is also a play on the word ego, because, you know, Eggman has a huge ego. I kind of love that. This is our second interpretation of Eggman Land. And While I think I prefer the Unleashed version, this one comes really close. You've got Eggman banners everywhere, golden statues of him everywhere. The only difference is, for the most of the zone, it's in daytime, which is not, you're used to more of a dark, more of a decrepit Eggman land, like the way we see it in Unleashed. Although, the last act of the zone has a dark and decrepit style, which is why that act is my favorite of them all. And now we come to the boss of Ego City and the final boss of the game. Nightmare Eggman. Oh my lord, look at him. He looks absolutely amazing. He looks terrifying. They made him scary. Eggman literally has a super form. This is so cool. I love this boss. You switch between all 6 characters, SA2 style. I love this boss. And then the music for the first part when you're playing as all the characters, absolutely amazing. Especially when like guitars start shredding. Oh my god, this is the best piece in Dream Team, by far. That is in the opening theme, of course. And then, at the end, when you play just the Sonic to finally deliver the final blow, it plays the main theme of the game, just like it did in Frontiers, Unleashed, and Colors, and wow, this was amazing. This was a really cool boss. I would have loved for it to be a little longer, a little more difficult, but it's okay. I love this boss, and oh my god, what a conclusion to this game. Is what I would say if the game wasn't left with an open-ended note. At the end of the game, when everybody finally wakes up, Tails remarks on how the Reverie can't make dreams come true for another 1,000 years. Technically, he says. When asked about that technically, Tails says that he's able to modify the Reverie, and they are able to connect and talk with REM again, and be able to explore the dreamscape again. And that is exactly where Dream Team is going next. Dream Team has been announced by Sega and Hardlight. It will have more content in the future. The game is not dead. It'll continue having more content, more character stuff added to Dream Team, which makes me so extremely hyped for it. Because if a singular launch with 4 zones that were really fun gameplay, lots of replayability launched this way, I am so excited to see what Hardlight will be able to cook up for us in the future, because my god, does this game have so much promise. Overall, Sonic Dream Team is a wonderful Sonic game. A little bit short on the timing, but that's because it's a mobile game. I can't be upset about it for that, or I can't be really anything about that. I'm just happy that this game even exists. Sonic Dream Team is a solid 8 out of 10 Sonic game. It is tied with Sonic Superstars as my favorite Sonic project of 2023. And I am personally so excited for the future of Sonic Dream Team. But that's everything from me. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you all next time. Ciao!